Hey guys, my name is Ryan and this is my 2009 Porsche Cayenne. So I'm always getting asked questions. What is it? What have I done to it? Why? So in this video, we're going to run through a few of the basic things that I've done and go a bit more into depth of what it is and why I've done it. So to start off, it's a 2009 Porsche Cayenne with the 3-litre V6 diesel. It shares this engine and most of its chassis with other vehicles in the Volkswagen Audi group lineup, such as the Touareg and the Audi Q7. It does actually have a full four-wheel drive system. So it's got a high range, low range transfer case, a center diff lock. They were optionable with a rear diff locker. Mine unfortunately doesn't have it, but very cool feature nonetheless. So what's done? First and foremost is a 3-inch lift kit with a 1.5-inch, I believe, subframe drop. This kit is from Eurowise Performance / Eurowise Off-Road in the United States. Incredible guys, their products are fantastic and they've really pioneered a lot of the stuff for this platform. There's a lot of great brands out there now, but they really started it all. Following on from that, we've got a set of 34-inch tires. So they're a 295/70 R18. They're a Yokohama Geolandar XAT, so they're a hybrid one, on a set of Black Rock Gunner wheels. Not a lot of options in stud patterns for these. They're a 5x130. So thanks to the guys over at CNC Wheels over East for hooking me up with a set of these Black Rock wheels in a custom offset. They're an 18x9 plus 20. So not your standard old ute fitment, if you will. Let's keep taking a walk around. The car from factory did come with air suspension. It still has all the factory air suspension integrated. The lift kit is simply an add-on on what's already there. This still gives me range of movement. I can go up about 2 inches and down about 2 inches from what they classify as the standard ride height. This is with it aired up all the way at the moment. So it does go a long way down. I can get it down to about 1 inch from tire to fender. So quite a big range of movement. It's pretty rare that I actually use it in this fully lifted mode. As you can tell, the clearance is phenomenal. I don't really need it, but it's nice to have for when I do. A few other notable mentions of what's done. The bumpers front and rear have been chopped. It was something I'd always planned on doing. It got accelerated due to some issues with the snatch strap breaking the factory one. So I decided to do the chop and left it at that. We move around the front. As you can see, the front bumper has also been chopped. Same issues, same trip. It was a long story. We'll go there one day. Up the front, we have removed the factory intercoolers. Being a turbo diesel, they are factory intercooled. They normally have 2 small intercoolers sitting behind the little grills here. I had clearance issues when I put the bigger tires on, so they had to go. Since then, I've done a full custom front mount intercooler. It works out to about the same displacement as what was there at the beforehand, just to a full metal unit rather than the factory units with plastic end tanks. It's sufficient. It does what it needs to do. It's nothing flash, but it works. Moving to the top, we've got a roof rack I found off Marketplace. It came off an 80 series. Not designed for this car, but I made up some brackets. These have a factory track system, so I made up the brackets to sit into those. And it's worked great so far. It is a bit noisy. I got to come up with a wind deflector option, but that's a work in progress. We're running a Raxar 180-degree freestanding awning. Fantastic unit. I'll never go back to a normal awning again. It's just one of those things. And on the other side, we've got a shower tent. Haven't quite fully set up the shower tent yet. It's in the works, so the tent's mounted. I just got to get the actual shower part now, so that's all part of the fun. In the boot, I've done a full dual battery system. So under the floor where the factory spare wheel is, naturally the spare wheel is no longer relevant to me, and my full-size spare doesn't fit in the floor, under the floor anymore. I've done a full dual battery system, so we've got a 100 amp hour deep cycle battery, a red arc DC-DC charger. We've also got a compressor mounted under the floor for airing up, amongst a few other bits and pieces. It is a relatively basic system. I don't need to be able to go off grid for weeks on end. It runs the fridge, it charges everything up that I need to, runs the lights on the awning, and obviously the compressors there as well. It's sufficient for what I need, and it's done the job so far. I'm sure with time I'll expand on it, as I have made it expandable. It's just as it is for now. So yeah. Why not is generally what I tell people. I get asked by everybody that sees it why. Some people think I'm cool, some people think I'm stupid. Why would you do this to a Porsche? Do you have lots of money? The answer is no. These are actually really cheap to purchase. Most people just don't realize what they're capable of. I saw a picture of one of these in the US about 4 years ago and went, that's sick, I want one. A couple of years down the track, it sort of became an actual viable option. I bought this, it came from over east, from Melbourne. At the same time, a friend of mine actually bought a Volkswagen Touareg, and they both came over from Melbourne on the same boat. We kitted them out together. So we've been learning along the way and sort of trialing it all out. It's been good fun. We've had our issues. I'm on my 4th set of CVs now. Finally have upgraded them. It's just the issues with independent suspension that you're going to get. They've been good so far with these upgraded ones, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, overall I paid $25,000 for the car, $25,000, and it's realistically, I've probably spent 10 to 15 on it, so let's call it 40, and you can have one of these. It's not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things when you see people kitting out their Patrols and Land Cruisers that are $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 vehicles. Just because it's got a Porsche badge doesn't mean it's expensive. Yeah. Is it capable? Well, from what I've done with it so far, absolutely it is. I've done a lot of touring mostly with it, everywhere from Exmouth up north, all the way down to Esperance, and as east inland as Kalgoorlie. I've taken it off-roading everywhere I go. The beach and sand dunes is really where it shines. The independent suspension front and rear gives you just phenomenal clearance in the sand. Don't have diffs dragging, and that with the system, it just goes everywhere I point it. On the more harder stuff, it has kept up with some pretty good cars. Again, the independent there becomes a limitation. I don't have the articulation like solid axle cars do. It does have a really good traction control system, and it does lift wheels and it does drive through them. I've done Mundaring power lines in it, and I've done a lot of that sort of style of driving, and it's done it every time. At the end of the day, it's not really what this was designed for though, but it still does it, and I've had a great time every step of the way. What's on the cards for the future? Well, right now I'm in a bit of a halt with what I spend on it. I'm trying to build another car at the moment, finish other projects. But eventually the plan will be for bar work the whole way around. Where all the chops are, front and rear, will get tubular bars. Nothing traditional in the sense of a bull bar, but just something sleek that I can mount lighting to. It looks good. The rear bar, I want to integrate a carrier onto it, because at the moment I'm just using hitch mounted options. And then eventually down the track, probably upgrade the roof rack to something that's a little bit more specific to the car. I would eventually like to do a bit more to the engine if funds allowed it. You can boost these engines pretty hard. So with turbo upgrades, things like that. At the moment, it's just running a really basic remap. It's still got the DPF, although that might change in the future. Who knows? But power-wise, it's got enough. That's just the fun part of it, you know. In the boot, I do want to set up drawers and other more touring-y things, maybe even a rooftop tent in the future to get away more. But it does the job. I've loved every step of the way. And on that note, this is my Porsche Cayenne. See you guys next time.